Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Week 12 SFL action continues this afternoon in Fort Lauderdale as the Florida Storm play host to the Atlanta Swarm. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Daggs, and alongside me in the broadcast booth is the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson. Our statisticians today are Gerald Smith and Tyler Falk. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Matt, how you doing today?
I almost had a heart attack, Mike, a couple minutes ago.
Exciting finish to the Mexico City game moments ago. Matt, we got two teams here today with similar records, both in third place in their divisions as we enter the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Atlanta's 3 games back in their division, behind division leader Louisiana, and only a half game behind second place Tulsa. They lost to Louisiana earlier this season, so they're really in a position at this point where they're just fighting for a wild card spot, as the best they can place is second in the East, even if they win out. For Florida, it's a whole different story. Only 1 game behind Jacksonville and tied with Charleston. A win today and a loss by those two teams tomorrow could potentially catapult them from third to first in the Atlantic before the weekend is over. First things first, today's game. What are the keys to victory for these two teams?
Yeah, Florida is coming off a strong win over Tulsa last week. Things were close in the first quarter, but then Charlie Valetsky literally took off like he had wings, Mike. He ended the day with 230 yards and an insane 10.3 yards per carry. Atlanta better be ready for the dangerous shotgun runs, force Florida into some long third down. Well, Atlanta suffered a bad loss to the Carolina Skyhawks. We harp on this often, but turnovers were the story. Bryant Dynasty had 4 of them, as well as only completing 57% of his passes. BGG Hollywood also only averaged 3.7 yards per carry. The Swarm's offense really needs to step up, or they could be run over quickly and literally by Florida. Which team will come out on top? There's only one way to find out, and that's on the field.
All right, Matt. Down on the field, Ethan Snead kicking it off to Atlanta to get things started in this ball game. Being returned out of the end zone, straight up the middle and into the waiting arms of a tackler up to the 23-yard line. That is where Atlanta will get things started on offensive. On this one, led by quarterback Bryant Dynasty, the 4-season veteran now. Starting offense for the Swarm. Other than Dynasty, halfback BDG Hollywood, the fullback Mitchell O'Brien, the wide receivers Honus Odeby, Siege Falco, Boo Chisholm, and Ryan Yosevelt, the tight ends DJ Bandit and Jamal Wooding. On the first play from scrimmage, the handoff to Mr. BDG Hollywood. He's wrapped up right at the line, and there's no gain on the play.
We've seen Hollywood a couple times, Mike. Those up-the-middle runs don't seem to do him any favors. You got to get him in space, off tackle, let him use that speed and acceleration to his advantage. And hopefully Atlanta's got some more of those in their bag of tricks.
Shotgun formation on second down. Dynasty to throw, fires a pass over the middle. And that one's picked off, going back the other way, and that is not how they want to get started, Matt. We talked about turnovers in the opening, and on the first pass of the ball game for Atlanta, it's a turnover.
As they sometimes say, Mike, too soon.
Yeah.
Looks like the Storm are ready for the all slants. Pretty well. It's a tough one, Mike. We got Storm, Swarm. I keep wanting to say Alaska, and we got Florida. So I don't have any go-to at this point. So we might be seeing a lot of name fumbling today. I apologize.
Yeah, you're going to be all kinds of messed up, Matt. Adrian Blaine, the rookie free safety, with her 4th pick on the season. And Ron Cochran leading the Florida offense out onto the field. Swing pass out to Valetsky. Breaks a tackle, does a spin, does another spin, and actually gets a first down. Thought it might go for a tackle for a loss. Yeah, go ahead and shimmy, Valetsky. You got a good one there.
Took a shot at the end, but I think he's pretty happy with himself, and I would be too, showing the power and then the speed and then the moves like Jagger.
Of course they are. Florida in the gun now. 2 receivers out to the left side of the formation. Cochran pumps, fires over the middle, tipped, and that one's nearly picked off as well. Go through the starting offense for the Florida Storm. Quarterback Ron Cochran. You've seen halfback Charlie Valetsky, the fullback J.W. Doyle. The receivers are Stephen Bush, E.J. Minson, and Justice Blackwell. The tight ends, Verdon Zarkov and Paulie Truth. On the offensive line, left tackle Greg McDonaldson, left guard Griffin King, who's got some serious wheels. We saw him in Tulsa last week running fast. And the right guard, Joseph Wade. Boletsky on 2nd down and 10, runs for 6 up the middle, setting up a 3rd down and 4 from the Atlanta 18-yard line.
And good time for Florida to unleash their short passing offense. Out routes, in routes.
Passes to Boletsky.
Passes to Boletsky. Yeah, I mean, he's right there in the backfield. Flare him out a little bit.
4-receiver set, trips up to the top of your screen. Cochran pitches it to Boletsky instead. Blockers out in front. Can he get the first? He can. Wrapped up by Aquana Shine and brought down at the 12, but not before moving the chains. 1st and 10 for Florida. Starting defense for the Atlanta Swarm, the defensive linemen Chris Porter, Billy Ray Valentine, Leo Jefferson, and Joshua Williams. The linebackers Aquana Shine, Cree Higgins, and Diamond Blackwell. The corners Jack Napier, Don Fletcher, Jay Rock, and Jay Miraculous. The safeties, the Moose Papineau and Chris Henry. Cochran up top, and that one is incomplete. A little too close to the sidelines. Trying to hit Veridin Zarkov, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they couldn't quite get the little tootsies in there, Mike. Close. But again, these goal lines or these situations where you're, 10 and just about at the 10 are really tough because the field is so compressed. So again, I would look for Florida to throw something short or maybe try to get Boletsky here off tackle. See what.
Looks like they might offset I formation in the backfield.
Yeah. Nope.
And it's going to be a pass. Cochran out to J.W. Doyle. Hits Doyle.
Oh!
And Doyle surging forward all the way to the 3 before being brought down out of bounds. Getting the fullback involved in the passing game pays off there. 3rd down and 1.
Little burst from the big man. Now 3rd and 1. I don't know. Might be Boletsky time. That's a guy I'd give it to on 3rd and 1, depending on what the defense is looking like.
Two backs in the backfield. Cochran under center.
It's a lot of blue helmets.
Cochran to Boletsky. Boletsky to the 3. It's going to set up a 4th and 1. And gosh, man, I would be tempted to go for it. Great tackle by Chris Henry to put an end to that drive. But I think we're going to see Ethan Snead out for a field goal try.
Especially this early in the game, too. It's like, well, you got the pick. I guess they're just going to take the free point.
No.
Oh.
Offense out there, man.
Rolling the Riverboat Ron, rolling the dice.
There he is. It's too tempting. You're this close. Snap it.
You got to lose.
Cochran with the hard count.
Come on, Ron.
Hey, he gets the defense to jump. Cochran to the 1 and gets the pass complete. So they'll get the first down. Paulie Truth with the catch. But do they take half of the distance to the goal, or do they take the? They'll probably just take the catch. I think it nets them another half a yard.
Decline it. Yeah.
And the Storm do indeed decline the penalty. It'll be a 1st down and goal from the 1. Ron Cochran, the wily vet with the hard count, gets Atlanta to jump.
And now, I mean, man, just set up Boletsky in some kind of swing pass here. Man, Atlanta's not on the line as much as I thought they'd be. Interesting.
Cochran to Boletsky again. This time he's able to surge forward into the end zone. Looks like he got face masked on his way down. But touchdown for the Florida Storm. They're able to score first. And the personal foul is indeed called. The Storm accept for the late hit from Aquana Shine.
Wanted to give Boletsky a little bit of a shiner, but it didn't cost him anything, I guess. So
9-play, 34-yard drive after the turnover, Matt. You talked about turnovers in your intro. Points off turnovers are game killers if you can't prevent that sort of thing from happening to your team.
Especially when you're playing Florida at Florida. You can't be making those mistakes.
Extra point try from Ethan Snead is blocked.
Oh, no! Oh. That's right. You can't advance the ball.
Blocked and kicked around. Matt got excited, but
No.
Nobody knows why.
Well, in other leagues you can advance the ball when it's blocked. In this league you can't, but
no, you can boot it around a little bit.
Pick it up and run it back.
You can kick the ball around. That's about it. So 6-0 Florida out in front. Atlanta will get their second shot at it on offense now.
Much of games I've seen and called, that 1 point tends to matter at one point or another in the game. So we'll keep an eye on that, make a note.
Interested to see how that one will come back and affect this game later on. Ryan Roosevelt getting the ball out to the 24-yard line, setting up the Swarm for their second offensive possession. Matt, their first possession, 2 plays. A run for 0 yards and a pass for a pick.
Well, can't get...
And only go up from here, Matt.
Exactly. Here we go.
Three backs in the backfield now on first down.
Nope.
Dynasty to pass. Gets it out to Hollywood. Hollywood breaking one tackle. Can't break tackle number 2. 8-yard gain on the play, setting up a second down and 2. The starting defense for the Florida Storm, the defensive line, Deontay Stoneville, Alessandro Tomalo, Rhett Sawyer, and Alex Dominguez. The linebackers are Stephen Black and Ryan Tobin. The corners, Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll, and Adam Jones. The safeties, you've seen her already. Adrian Blaine, number 28, with the pick on the previous drive, along with strong safety Andrew Francis. Second down and 2. Dynasty gets it into the hands of Hollywood in space. The fabled BDG Hollywood spin, getting him up to the 39-yard line.
I'll be doing a lot more of that. Give Hollywood the ball in space, let him do his thing. Even if it's 4 or 5 yards on first or second down, that's a big win.
Hollywood now with 15 yards receiving on the day. 1 rushing attempt for no gain. Dynasty out route up to the top, and that one is caught.
Oh!
And breaking a tackle. Boom, medium rare. Chisholm himself getting up to the 43-yard line.
Guess that's an advantage of Hollywood being your teammate. He kind of could show you a little bit of spin action. And that was definitely BDG. Look at that. BDG-esque. Just left him to the ground.
Rumor is they spend at least an hour of each practice just watching Hollywood spin and trying to replicate it from all skill positions.
I wonder if they got one of those like centrifuge NASA machines. That'd be really cool. Spin. That way they don't get dizzy when they spin. It builds up resistance.
There you go. Dynasty under center on first down and 10. Short drop. Immediately gets it into the hands of Hollywood. No spin that time. Ouch. Ryan Tobin with the tackle.
Still 4 yards, though, Mike. That's a very successful first down, in my opinion. 2nd and 6. Now you can go back to him on the ground if you want. I'd love to see them get those 3 backs and just go off tackle and see what he can do. But we're not going to get any of that.
3 wide receivers set on 2nd down and 6. Ball is handed off to Hollywood. Hollywood hit behind the line, and he's going to lose a yard. Wrapped up by a couple of tacklers. Adam Jones joining Ryan Tobin this time. Tackle for a loss back to the 40, 3rd and 7.
Hollywood needs blocking, Mike. I mean, I do like sometimes when you spread them out, but that was just not the play call I would have had in mind for Hollywood on that play.
Dynasty in the gun on 3rd down and 7. Has time. Hit as he throws, and that one is going to be incomplete. Lucky that wasn't a fumble. 4th and 7. The drive comes to a halt.
Old Goodyear, Mike, on that one, but it wasn't him. I'm hurting.
You saw an Alex Dominguez sighting, Matt?
Yeah.
He haunts you. You can tell. You're speechless just by the sheer sight of him on the
field.
Half
my arthritis comes from hitting me.
Chris Smith on to punt for the Swarm. It's a drop down at the 4 and into the end zone for the touchback. If you are new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, you can visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Ron Cochran back out onto the field now for the next Florida possession. In the gun, flanked by a running back to each side. Cochran throws over the middle, has his target up to the 38-yard line. Moving the chains, complete to Stephen Bush.
Yeah, nice throw by Cochran there. Just a very clean pocket. I mean, look at that. Bounce. Bush is open. Completion. I mean, that's the advantage And this Florida offensive line has 3 really good players, including Griffin King, who like runs a 4.40.
Stephen Bush tackled by the Moose on that play, Matt. Cochran to throw again on first down, gets that one out into the waiting arms of Boletsky. Turned on the afterburners and got up to the 49-yard line, moving the chains on back-to-back drives.
I think the afterburners are on by default, Mike, on that one. Boletsky was up to full speed right there. Boom. That's it. That's all it was. One step afterburners. He just has burners, period.
Barely Boletsky, an incredible week last week, Matt. 23 carries, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns. You know, Tulsa starting off the game against Florida last week, it looked like we're going to make it a ball game, and then Charlie Boletsky darn near single-handedly said, nah, today's my day. Sorry, Tulsa. Boletsky with the pitch. He's going to be tackled for a loss this time, getting brought back down at the 48-yard line. Tackled on the play by Diamond Blackwell, the rookie.
But Alaska surprised the opposition. Alaska. Yeah, Alaska. Florida surprised the opposition last week with that shotgun run, Mike, with the 2 backs. So I'm looking for it and seeing if it's still in the playbook or, if Alaska sees. Oh, my gosh.
Play action. Pass over the middle. That one is caught. J.W. Doyle, the fullback, with another reception and moves the chains at the 37-yard line.
The swarm. Let's see if the swarm are, ready for it. It would be unfortunate if they prepped that, all week long and then it doesn't come out. That's why it's a cat and mouse game, offense, defense. How close are you going to play it to last week?
First down and 10 from the 37. Haven't seen much out of the running game from either team quite yet. And we still won't. Out route is caught out on the left. Stephen Bush once again gets 8 on the play. Up to the 30-yard line.
That's, typical Florida, though. 8 yards, great job. Now they can go to, if they want to go back to Boletsky, they can use him in the flats, run him up the middle, run him up the side. I think we might see him here.
Boletsky.
Oh, God.
Immediately wrapped up in the backfield again and tackled for another loss. Run defenses from both teams looking pretty stout so far in this one, Matt.
Yeah, Diamond Black with a nice tackle there behind the line. But Florida has a very good, like I said, don't mean to beat a dead horse, but this is kind of where they like to live. So Atlanta needs to get some pressure on Cochran.
They're down in 6 in field goal range, but it's not going to matter. Completes the pass over the middle and gets the first down. Barden Zarkov with the catch. And, Matt, Atlanta's coming off of 2 back-to-back losses and looking to rebound here in this one. I mean, they were 4-3 just, a couple weeks ago and now sitting at 4-5. The last 2 teams they lost to, in fact, the last 3 teams that they lost to currently have a record of 3-6 or 3-7.
Oh, man.
Another great tackle for a loss there. But, Matt, you and I were talking about this yesterday, in fact, about, strength of victory versus strength of defeat. And, the strength of victory for Atlanta is number 2 in the league. They're among the highest. The teams they've beat, they've got winning records. They beat the 6-3 Kings, the 6-4 Sparrows. They've beat good teams, but the teams they've lost to, 3-6 St. Louis, 3-6 Las Vegas, 3-6 St. Louis, again, 3-7 Carolina. It's interesting. Boletsky trying to see if he can get something going. Nope. Hit way far back. Reestablishes. No, they're going to give him forward progress to the 27. That was a gift. Yeah, gift by the refs on that one. If I was Atlanta, I'd be a little annoyed trying to get him back out of field goal range, and now they'll spot him at the 27.
Mike, that strength of defeat stat is so great. I wonder who came up with that one.
I don't know. Some genius, I would imagine. Boletsky only 7 yards on 8 attempts. Cochran. Finds his target down the sideline, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Justice Blackwell.
Well, Mike, justice was served on that, and that was a beautiful play by Cochran. And Blackwell just finishes off, dragging people. Looked like he dragged someone. Let's see. Great grab, gets behind it. Look at him just drag number 21 into the end zone.
Yeah.
Poor man.
Former Mexico City Aztec Jack Napier and dragged into the end zone.
Yeah.
Wow, great play by Justice Blackwell, the second season vet, 6'3", 220-pound target, Matt. Able
You don't
to
like
haul
to
that
see
one
that
in.
if you're an Atlanta fan.
No. The extra point is up and actually good this time. Getting that one through. It's Blackwell, he had a touchdown last week, Matt. 4 receptions for 84 yards and a touchdown along of 40. That touchdown there coming on a 3rd down and 12.
Yeah. But we called that game last week, and we didn't see anything that spectacular from him. So definitely had a great play.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the touchdown that he had last week was his first on the season, all the way in week 11. So back-to-back weeks with touchdown receptions for Justice Blackwell after having a relatively quiet season.
Boy.
Ryan Roosevelt up to the 25.
Being an Atlanta fan, you blink, look at the scoreboard. It's like, uh-oh.
It's like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, you don't want to get behind against Florida. It's just, it's a very uphill climb.
As Tulsa saw last week.
Well, Tulsa kept it even in pretty much in the first, and then that's when
first quarter, yeah.
The demise started happening.
It all went away. Dynasty throws
careful,
a deep pass,
Brian.
a floater over the middle, but actually has his target Siege Falco wide open. And Matt, that ball seemed to just hang forever, and I could hear
Mike.
the breath just leave your lungs.
seven-step drop, middle of the field. I'm thinking, well, and it just, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's a beautiful ball. I don't know if Falco could have held on. I mean, he kind of had to dive a little bit, but maybe if he could have stumbled and stand on his feet, he would have been gone. Still a nice play for Atlanta to get into Florida territory, and now they got to really, really put the pedal to the metal here.
1st and 10 in Florida territory. 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. Dynasty, short pass over the middle, goes back to Falco once again, gaining 6 on the play, and that will probably bring us to the end of quarter number 1.
Yeah, and Atlanta on the move. They just need to get a touchdown here. We're doing well, 1-possession game, but we'll have to see on the other end.
Absolutely, Matt. No score for the Swarm, 13 points for the Storm. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the I. The side of today's game, Florida Storm hosting the Atlanta Swarm. Bryant Dynasty with the out route, complete for a first down up to the 36-yard line. I'm Mike Daggs alongside Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer, Gerald Smith, and Tyler Falk with us on stats today. Cameron Irvine, our producer. First down intended. Atlanta, they're on a drive, Matt, trying to get back into it.
Yeah, they desperately need. I mean, 3 would be okay, but 7 would really help them out greatly.
5 on the line for Florida Dynasty. Oh, quick pass down the right sideline, tipped, incomplete, slightly
that was
underthrown.
a little rude.
Trying to hit Siege Falco. And if he had gotten a little bit more air under that one, it could have been 6.
Yeah, Davidson and they're jawing back and forth. This Davidson hit Siege Falco after the ball was deflected.
Second down and 10 now. Dynasty to throw again. Gets it out to Hollywood.
Oh. Nowhere to run.
Third down and 6.
That was a rough one. Again, Mike, I see the 3 back set, but where's the off tackle run? You could have both. You could have your cake and eat it too. Run the screen, run the off tackle, wouldn't know what's coming.
Matt, the entire first quarter, we only saw 2 BDG Hollywood runs for a grand total of -1 yard.
Yeah, not the stats you're looking for.
Dynasty to throw on 3rd and 6. Going back down the sideline. What a hit! He stops. Why did he stop? Well, you had the touchdown, Roosevelt.
Oh no, I think he was trying to secure the ball, Mike. When you get it one-handed, you got to make sure you bring it back into your chest, right? He brought it back in, he secured it, and then good thing he did because he got whacked.
Yeah,
imagine if he didn't
right.
and he fumbled it at the goal line. That's probably a horrible situation.
Yeah, right out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Yeah, great catch. It just looked like he slowed up there at the end. But, hey, sets him up with a 1st and goal from the 1.
Screen time.
See, now we'll see some Hollywood. There's BDG. Walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Swarm, and we're back to a 1-point ball game. 1 point, 1 score.
Is he still in the negative? Does he have negative yards and a touchdown? That's a new one on me.
No, well, he doesn't have negative yards and a touchdown, Matt, but he's got 3 rushing attempts, 0 yards, and 1 touchdown. So no yards on the day for BDG Hollywood, but a touchdown. There's the stats right there.
That's great. Well, I mean, you know what? I'd rather have 0 yards and 5 touchdowns than 5 yards and 0 touchdowns.
Matt, if he's got 0 yards at the end of the day and 5 touchdowns on the ground, I will eat my hat. I can't tell you how many times I've said that, and I've never actually eaten any hats. But
no, that's false promises, Mike.
Well, Jeffrey and I were talking about making chocolate chip cookies into these small hats and then claiming that it was a thing and then eating those and really just eating cookies while trying to fulfill the bet. But anyhow, I digress. Extra point by Sammy Steele is up and good. 13-7. The lead has been cut into by Atlanta. Florida will get the ball back.
That's exactly what Atlanta needed. A very good drive. That nice one-handed grab at the 1, secured, and then run Hollywood in. And now Florida's got to kind of deal with a long field and see how they respond.
Ball taken about 2 yards deep out of the end zone. And brought up to the 21-yard line. So Ron Cochran on the field for the first time here in the second quarter. He was 9 of 11 for 108 yards and a touchdown in quarter number 1. Haven't seen a ton out of Beletsky, Matt, after having a 200-plus yard day with 3 touchdowns. He's got 7 yards on 8 rushing attempts, although he does have a rushing touchdown of his own. So we've got one running back with 7 yards and a touchdown and the other one with 0 yards and a touchdown. Kind of bizarre stats.
We haven't seen the play yet, Mike.
No, we have not. Well, there you go.
Play.
There's a play. It's not the one you were talking about, but it's good enough. Beletsky down the sideline. Oh, he's gone, Matt. 79 yards to the house. Touchdown, Storm.
And he's doing something with the ball. I don't know what he's doing.
Nobody knows what he was just doing with the ball, and we probably don't want to. What a run.
He's like, I don't need the play. I can make it on any play. And I mean, look at the speed. Look at the blocking, though. There's that man. There's that 440 number 77 there. I mean, Blutzker runs a 4.2, but I mean, look at him keep up with them. And he really didn't know. Well, there's a little side chip block. Not a block in the back, thank goodness. But that was all Boletsky, after that initial block, just turning on the afterburners. And 77 was just saying, hey, how's it going, Charlie?
Yeah.
Charlie's like, I'm just taking this to the house. Just get out of my way.
Back-to-back weeks where we see Charlie Boletsky and left guard Griffin King, the 320-pound, 6'6" lineman, sprinting down the left sideline together.
Hashtag put him in at fullback.
I think you probably should. I mean, you have J.W. Doyle, but, I mean,
Yeah,
let's at least do it for a play. Extra points
Yeah,
up and good. Florida 20, Atlanta 7.
It's like when the 85 Bears used to put the fridge in at fullback. Exactly the same thing.
Have you checked out video content produced by our community lately? You can catch the Sim Pod every week, SFL Crunch Time and Road to Glory every Wednesday night. SFL Nights with AJ Stryker premieres on Thursday nights. Say It With Your Chest airs on Fridays, and Netma can be seen all week long at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Every week, the live show schedule can be accessed through our Discord server at the top of the channel listing. Just look for the events tab. Ryan Roosevelt taking this one from the goal line, brings it up to the 21, down it goes, and that is where Atlanta will take back over on offense. Atlanta had a 7-play, 75-yard drive that took about 2.5 minutes off the clock, Matt. Florida came out and said, I will see your 7-play, 75-yard drive and raise you one play, 79-yard drive that'll take a grand total of 16 seconds. And we're back to a 2-score ball game now, so let's see what Atlanta can do.
Back at square one.
Still no run, and Dynasty gets it into Hollywood's hands in the passing game once again.
That's the kind of runs, that Atlanta should be running for Hollywood. It's not like he can't do the same thing. We saw him run 99 yards, and looks like they're using him more as a receiver at this point. Although, like I said, I won't say no to a 10-yard gain, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've harped on the fact that he has 0 yards rushing, but he does have 34 yards through the air. I mean, he's currently the second leading receiver on the team, just behind Siege Falco's 39 yards. And so he's only 5 yards shy of that. So it's definitely being used in offense, just not how we've seen in the past. Dynasty pass over the middle. He had 2 targets wide open there. Decides to connect up with Falco once again, moving the chains at the 44.
Yeah, just a nice pitch and catch. Atlanta just has to kind of shake it off, and try to move the ball down the field like they did last time and get it back to a 1-score game.
3 wide receiver set, handing it off to Hollywood. Can Hollywood get some positive yards? No. So there you go, Matt. That's the stat that you were looking for. He's got -3 yards and a rushing touchdown.
So just now Atlanta needs to throw a ball to the 1 again, or to the goal line, and then there you go. You have 2 touchdowns and -2 yards.
Negative yards. We'll see. We'll see. 2nd down and 13. Well, they're ready to fire it down to the 1 for you, Matt.
There we go.
4 receivers set, and Jamal Wooding in at tight end. Dynasty throws it over the middle, hits Wooding, I believe, and gets the first down. Yeah, indeed, that is. Hashtag throw it to the tight end, Jamal Wooding. Getting up to the 43-yard line, first down.
Yeah, Wooding's one of the best we have in this league, and showed it there. Taking a nice little 8-yard run, nice little juke there, and gets every single yard he can off. Look at that. Whoop. Looking like a halfback out there. Like I say, that's the advantage of having a BDG on your team. It shows you all the moves.
Absolutely. Tight ends can spin too, Matt.
Yeah,
Not well, but we can.
I don't recommend it. Especially you. You spin like a
it's hideous.
rusty old.
Dynasty hands it off to Hollywood. Getting some positive yards. There we go. Back to 0 on the day. And I didn't even notice that DJ Bandit went down at some point, Matt. And he's the number 2 tight end on the team, the rookie 2nd-round pick. He'll be done for the day.
That's not good for Atlanta. They want to run the ball. Those double tight end sets are very useful.
DJ Bandit with 85 yards on the season. Used more as a blocker, Matt. Hollywood gets the pass, loses some yards in the receiving game this time. But, DJ Bandit used to help open up some running lanes for BDG Hollywood, and now he'll be out for the remainder of this ball game.
So unfortunate.
Yeah. We'll have to see some more out of number 3 tight end, Show Nuff.
Well,
Show enough.
hopefully he
Indeed.
shows enough.
I hope so. Dynasty on third down will pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's wrapped up and ripped to the ground. Alex Dominguez with the sack and the taunt and the
and my arthritis
jump
just
shot
up again. I mean, oh my God! Just go down. Don't resist.
Don't stop resisting.
Don't. The blimp is gonna get you. He's gonna tear ligaments if he has to. He's a mean man.
Alex Dominguez had a tackle for a loss last week. No sacks, but gets one there, bringing him up to 6 sacks on the season. Ends that drive, forcing the punt from Atlanta. Chris Smith punting it once again back. Fair caught at the 12-yard line by Justice Blackwell. And Atlanta back out on, Florida back out on offense. Now, the last time they were out there, well, they handed it off to Boletsky, and Boletsky just ran off for 79 yards. So,
yeah, let's hope we don't see that one again.
Well, I believe that the Florida fans are probably thinking something different. 84 yards on the day.
Yeah, but
it's like, I don't want to see any more scoring.
I mean, I love scoring.
Now Boletsky says, I'm going to do it again. Watch.
Oh, no.
Off he goes, crossing midfield. You know what, Matt? He didn't get a 79-yard touchdown. He got an 88-yard touchdown. Charlie Boletsky to the house. Touchdown Storm. Back-to-back handoffs for touchdowns for Florida. Charlie Boletsky can't be stopped. Matt's gone speechless. He doesn't even know what to say at this point. Charlie Boletsky taking it right up the middle, past all the tacklers and straight into the end zone. Charlie Boletsky, 174 yards on the day today and 3 touchdowns. I mean, we thought he had a great week last week, Matt, and it looks like he's going to go right back into having another one today. The rushing yard totals, not even comparable. 174 yards for Florida, 0 for Atlanta. High snap on the extra point. It's up, and it is good. Florida, foot on the gas, and out in front in this one, 27-7. Ethan Sneed with the ball teed up. Kick is away. Roosevelt standing at the goal line brings this one out. And brought down at the 27-yard line. Commissioner Cameron Irvine let me know Atlanta has been outscored 43-7 in the last 4 quarters. It's been a rough outing for Atlanta, and strange, like I said earlier about the up and down that they've had with beating some teams with winning records, Jacksonville and Sioux Falls, and losing to some teams with losing records. Tough. Hollywood with the handoff, runs off tackle to the left, spins again, breaks across. Wow, gets all the way up past the 40. Finally getting some positive yardage. 16 yards now on the day for BDG Hollywood, which pushes him over 14,000 yards on his career. Number 1 in the league, and it's taking him a little while to get going. Matt, I think he was tired of getting shown up by Boletsky.
Oh, he's going to need to do a lot more than that. I think Boletsky's got 10 times as many yards as he does at this point in the game. And that's not a good place to be. Oh, well, I was trying to be kind, Mike.
Yeah, Hollywood's got 16 yards. 10 times that's 160. You're still 14 yards shy of Boletsky's total. You can be nice. I won't. Dynasty hands this one off. Mitchell O'Brien with the run, getting up to the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the play will set up a 2nd down and 2.
So let's see if Atlanta can. They really need a touchdown, Mike. I know it's early in the game, but for gosh sake.
Yeah,
there we go.
Hollywood off tackle. Yeah, gets the first down. And no, you're absolutely right, Matt. I mean, when you're down by 3 scores, you at least, 3 points isn't going to do them much good here. You're still down 17 points. You're still, you're still down 3 scores. So,
Yeah.
A field goal is not really going to get you that much closer to where you need to be. You got to get this touchdown, make it a 2-touchdown game. Try to keep yourself in this. Dynasty hands this off to Hollywood. Hollywood met right in the middle, rips down, and will only gain 1 yard on the play. Rhett Sawyer, the defensive tackle. Alex Dominguez's counterpart with the stop.
That's a heck of a counterpart. This Florida team right now, Mike, is peaking at the right time for playoffs. And I wouldn't want to face them if I'm anybody.
Dynasty gets it into Hollywood's hands. Hollywood tries to spin, but is met by 2 tacklers. He's not going to be able to get anything more on that one. Evan Carroll joined by Ryan Tobin. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, and Atlanta just needs a first down. Will it? Get your best set out there.
4 wide receiver set on 3rd down and 7. Crowd on their feet here in Fort Lauderdale, making some noise. Dynasty takes the snap, fires up top, finds Falco, but he's not going to get the first down. Tackled at the 36-yard line on the outskirts of field goal range. A 4th down and 2. Matt, I'd just go for it.
Yeah, like the late John Madden. How much did he hate on 3rd down throwing the ball short of the sticks?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He never understood that one. Why would you run the route short of where you need to be?
Exactly.
In that case, I could kind of see, you get it to Falco, turn up field, but there's a little stumble, and he just wasn't able to get it done. So a little punt once again. Chris Smith, he's been a busy boy today. So unfair catch called for back at the 14-yard line and made by Blackwell. All right, well, the last 2 offensive snaps from Florida, well, they've both been handoffs to Beletsky, and they've gone for over 160 yards. The math evades me, Matt, but 79 plus 88, a lot of yards on 2 carries.
I'm not even going to try.
Both runs coming in the 2nd quarter. And he's going to go to the air. But, hey, why not? Get it back into Beletsky's hands. It's not quite an 88-yard touchdown, but a gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, 3. Seems like such a disappointment at what we're used to from Beletsky, but, I think they'll take it.
Ron Cochran with 111 yards passing through the air, a 133 rating. 3 receivers out to his right. Cochran over the middle. That one's caught. Gains almost enough to get the first down. It'll be a 3rd down and inches as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, it just means, I smell a Beletsky, you're on our future.
Beletsky quite possibly will be able to gain the inches, Matt, as he's been gaining huge chunks of yards all ball game. 2 minutes to go here in the first half with Florida in possession of the football. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Next Level Sports. We'll be back after this.
That's all your fault, Cam.
2 minutes to go here in the first half of action. 3rd down and inches coming up. Cochran trying to get the hard count in there again. Boletsky easily gets the first down and more. Trying to break through some more tackles. Why not? As he's been able to do it so far all ball game long. Coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green discuss some of the newest league partners as the SFL prepares for an epic summer season, plus updates you on the action going on in Nevada between the Arizona Scorpions and the Las Vegas Fury. It's part of our bonus coverage here today on Next Level Sports, and it's all coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report.
Can't wait.
Cochran, sacked. Brought down at the 29.
That's a rarity. Just got brought down, and
Leo Jefferson with the sack.
Yeah, it's really a rare time when Ron Cochran takes the turf, but I guess when you're up 27-7, it's not the end of the world. But man, you think if you're Atlanta though, you want this ball back. Will Ron throw a pick? Not likely.
Cochran pump fakes, throws down the middle of the field. And that one is caught. Yeah, it was into coverage, but gets the pass to E.J. Minson. That one's caught. They get the first down. Now they're going to burn a timeout and see what else they can get going here.
And nice Minson just kind of looking through the zone, trying to find a weak spot, and he did. And Cochran delivered a nice ball.
You know, it's funny, Matt, because Ron Cochran is actually among the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. But, you know, last week we barely saw him go down. I don't even know if we saw him go down once. And then this week, that's the first time we've seen him get sacked. So you're right. It's a rarity for these past couple weeks. Been having a rough season, just getting hit. 22 sacks on the season against Ron Cochran. Getting that first down there on the out route, 44 seconds to go with the clock rolling. Short drop by Cochran. Fires over the middle into traffic. Oh, man, I thought that was going the other way. Moose Papanow was sprinting forward on that ball. Diamond Blackwell swatting it down. But watch. See if we can see it on the replay. There's Moose.
Yeah.
Oh, right
Moose.
there.
Oh, man. It would have been awesome if he picked that ball. But good job playing.
I'll grab
Moose,
it,
Moose, grab it. You have two hands.
He used 0 of them.
Well, he used one, but yeah.
Last week, Moose Papanow with 2 picks. Almost had pick number 1 of today's ball game. 3 wide receivers set now on second down. Cochran over the middle once again has his man.
Wouldn't this just be the cherry on the Sunday for Florida if they scored a touchdown here?
Yeah, absolutely. Cochran over the middle again. It's picked off. Aquana Shine with the interception. Aquana Shine jumping right in front of that one, Matt. He says, forget your cherry. I want this ball. And he gets the pick.
Yeah, I know that number, Mike. Aquana Shine just playing zone. Just stepped in front of it, showing the Moose how it's done. 2 hands Moose, too. So that's nice because that stops Florida from putting up more points.
Yeah.
And now
that
Atlanta,
was huge for Atlanta.
We saw the Mexico game. Atlanta just might want to cool it and just take this deficit into the half. They don't want another pick.
Hand it to Hollywood. See if Hollywood can do anything.
Oh my
nope,
gosh.
we cannot. Hollywood just ran into a proverbial wall. So, yeah, that didn't work. Aquana Shine with his first interception on the season. His 16th pick on his career for the inside linebacker here in Atlanta. And the final seconds of the first half will tick away. Well, crazy first half. Atlanta Swarm with 7 points. Florida Storm with 27. Looked like they might get more, but it was not to be. That's your score at the half. We'll be back with the APM Music Halftime Report with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report. Obviously, that is not Mike St. Green. Come on back to us, Mike, please. Thank you. I'm Cameron Irvine. These hackers, man, it's unbelievable. Here at the break, Florida dominating Atlanta 27-7, and this has been a bit of a snoozer as Atlanta is trying to turn their season around, and it is not going well here in the first half.
Well, one thing, Cam, thanks to Aquan Shine, I mean, at least there's some faint hope of a possible turnaround in the second half. If Florida catches that last touchdown in before the half, I mean, we're pretty much going to go ahead and call that game. I mean, realistically, but and just staying on Atlanta, they have me befuddled. I have no idea what's going on with this team, especially over the last couple of halves of football that they've played. No points scored against Tulsa, and 47, probably 54 points scored against in the same time frame. But credit to Florida, they have really turned it on here the past couple of games, and look out, man, for the rest of the league going down the stretch, because obviously a storm is coming with Florida.
If Atlanta cannot figure things out in the second half, Jacksonville better keep winning, or Florida's going to come from behind out of nowhere and win this division. Florida does have Charleston in Week 12. That's going to be a big game. And then they have Week 14, and then they have Jacksonville in Week 13. So the division is right in front of Florida for their taking, but at the same time, Jacksonville and Charleston can put them in the rearview mirror over the last couple of weeks. So the Atlantic's going to be one of the most exciting divisions down the stretch, it would appear. As Florida is all over Atlanta right now, 27-7. We are monitoring Arizona and Las Vegas, our bonus coverage game. But first, Mike, we've got we had some big news in the SFL this week. Let's start with Laser, the digital trading card company out of Germany. Great people over there. They're going to be bringing digital trading cards to the playoffs every 30 minutes. You get a trading card out of the pack for free, and then you can also purchase that whole pack too. 18 players to start, and it's going to be pretty cool. It'll tell you how many subscribers the Twitch channel had at the time of the cards unboxing, and we've got some gold sign cards, we've got Hall of Fame cards, rookie cards, record setter cards. It's going to be a pretty fun time.
Yeah, Cam, that's very exciting news coming from Laser. I mean, player cards, I mean, we all grew up with them. We love them. And what better way to celebrate, the players and stars of this league than to come out with a card set.
For some reason, I remember specifically a Rex Chapman Phoenix Suns card. Did you do some trading cards back in the day, Mike?
Cam, the trading cards that I grew up with, you probably wouldn't even know these old guys that I grew up with. I mean,
did it come through via Telegram? Is that what you're saying?
Well, close to it. I mean, we had to buy the old cardboard bubble gum to get the cards that we used to have growing up with, Cam. That that no one wanted the bubble gum, no one ate it. They threw the bubble gum out. Just got the and got the great football and baseball cards that we grew up with way back in the day.
Yeah, so that should be fun, trading cards for the 21st century, and it'll be cool to see who's out of that first set, and then obviously as we move forward for seasons to come. How about ESTV, Mike? A new television partner coming on board, in addition to our great folks here at Next Level Sports, and ESTV's got some great platforms, some great content, and we're at NFL Alumni Association is over there, and we're really looking forward to sharing the SFL world with a whole new audience in the coming months.
Yeah, Cam, this is exciting news as well. As you mentioned, sharing the SFL with, the rest of the world. What better way than just increase our footprint, and ESTV coming on board, for next season. That's just, it's just great news. I mean, it's a great, as I mentioned earlier today, I mean, it's just a great time to be a part of the SFL and in the SFL experience. And, I've been around for a couple of years, and this gets better and better every day that I'm here.
How many, what's the over-under on people freaking out if they're not in the first pack of cards that they're never going to get a card. What's the over under on that?
I think it's about 600 people in the league. So I'll set
580.
I'll set the over under about 599. So and yours truly included. So you know me, I want to be included in all the great stuff. But it's a numerous amount of great stars that have been here long before I got here and done great things on and off the field. So if I'm not included in the first set, I'll look for whatever set I'm included in down the line. But it's going to be interesting to see, that's for sure, who gets that honor of being the first set released.
There'll be some historical cards too in there, so it's not. We have so many players that aren't even here anymore. That did some big things back in the day. So that'll be fun. Mike, last but not least, the SFL convention is headed to Las Vegas at HyperX Arena. NXT is partnering with us on that. Everybody's all working out the details, trying to get the logistics down. But this event is going to be something. The first of its kind, first convention in the SFL on television, and it's going to be a March Madness style, event with a 50-foot wall and just a lot of excitement and energy in our first public convention that people can just walk into and check out what we got going on.
Yeah, Cam, I experienced my first convention last summer right here in my own hometown, and man, to take this to Vegas and then live TV and the platform that it's going to be on, that's a great next step for the league. And as I mentioned, man, the league is just constantly growing, taking that next step, pushing the envelope as to where we could go. And what better way than to go to the entertainment, capital of the world, basically Las Vegas, and put on the show for the people out there in Nevada.
And we'll have 4 more teams coming to Next Level Sports coverage of the SFL next season as well, up to 28. That is an SFL record heading into our 19th season. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully nobody gets into too much trouble out there in Sin City, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of Las Vegas Fury members there as well, and hopefully some new fans. Speaking of the Fury, they are driving right now, but do trail Arizona 10-3. They have had the Scorpions number. This is basically a playoff game for those 2, 3, and 6 teams.
Oh yeah, Cam, 3 and 6. Both of these teams, a loss, may not mathematically put you out, but we know how things are around this league. 5 and 7 is not going to get you in more than likely into the playoffs. So this is definitely a win or go home type situation for both of these teams. Arizona's looked pretty. Actually, both teams have actually looked pretty solid here in the first half. Arizona had a long drive on their first drive that ended in a field goal. Las Vegas, they answered with a field goal of their own. Arizona came back with a touchdown, and Las Vegas, they're answering right back with a drive of their own. So interesting game. They're playing it kind of close to the vest. No real big, high-powered plays in this game as of yet. So maybe these guys are feeling the pressure and feeling the heat of, hey, we need to win this game to stay alive.
Well, if Atlanta doesn't make this second half interesting, Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson certainly will. The last time they were in a blowout, I think they were talking about the difference between a hurricane and a tsunami. So we'll see what we get in the second half if Atlanta can't give us a good comeback. 27-7, Florida's up big at the break. Mike and Matt back for more when the second half resumes. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report, and Mike and I will see you back here for postgame.
And welcome back to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for the start of the third quarter. Atlanta, unfortunately for them, having to kick off to the Florida Storm, who are out in front by 20 points. And Matt, to recap some of what Cam was talking about, a tsunami is a set of tidal waves in the water bodies, while hurricanes are the storm of wind in the atmosphere. And Justice Blackwell trying to ruin my recap of tsunamis versus hurricanes with a good kick return. It gets it up to the 26-yard line. Kind of a lopsided first half, Matt.
Yeah, I'm hoping it gets prettier for Atlanta because, you'd hate to go out, get it. Alaska gets a Florida gets a huge lead, and then, the backups come in, and then Atlanta scores like 57 points, and they still lose.
We'll see what happens. Charlie Beletsky with his first carry of the second half goes for a gain of 4. He had quite the first half, Matt. 11 carries, 181 yards, and 3 touchdowns. His longest was the 88-yard touchdown run that he had, which, came right after a 79-yard touchdown run. So most of those yards that he has came on those 2 big plays. But Ron Cochran, 14 of 18 in the first half, 169 yards and a touchdown, along with a pick that came right at the end of the first half. Nice pass over the middle to start the third quarter. I'm Mike Dykes, joined in the booth by Matt Wilson, Gerald Smith, and Tyler Falk with us on Stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer, setting up that convention for us in Las Vegas this summer, like you heard about on the halftime report. Matt, rumor is Dags Drone Works has gotten FAA waiver to be able to fly down the Las Vegas Strip and get some video for the league.
That is going to be shot down by a bunch of jets.
Oh! Great coverage on the play, breaking that pass up. Intended target was Paulie Truth. Second down and 10.
Mike better bring an extra drone just in case.
Well, I've got 3, so we'll bring all 3 of them.
We do have Vice Wars, Mike. What about Drone Wars?
I would rather not.
Oh,
Listen, sometimes hawks try to attack the drone. It gets kind of scary, Let's not start drone wars. Cochran down the left sideline. Oh, he's got his target, connecting with Stephen Bush all the way down at the 36-yard line. Bush now with 67 yards and 4 catches. Matt, Florida picking right back up where they left off.
Yeah, they're throwing the ball. It's kind of a can't win for the Florida offense. They want to kind of maybe work some clock right now, but everything they do seems to get over 10 yards. Let's just run Beletsky, run the clock out. Oh, wait, he can score with a single touch. Well, I don't know, Mike.
Cochran once again connecting on the pass. Verdon Zarkov with another reception. He had 2 earlier for 21 yards. That's his 3rd catch on the day. Second down and 3. Speaking of Las Vegas, Matt, the Las Vegas Fury out in front of the Arizona Scorpions, 13-10 over on the SFL Twitch channel. Ron Cochran fires over the middle.
Man.
I thought that was picked, but no. E.J. Minson making magic happen, gets the catch up at the 10.
Yeah, it just looks too easy for Florida right now. Just running the slant. Coverage was there, but that ball was expertly placed by Cochran.
Moose Papanow and Jay Miraculous both there, both of them trying to swat the ball away, and both missing. Cochran in the gun on first down and 10 from the 10.
Little tight end flex maybe at the top. No?
Cochran looking down into the end zone, and that one is caught. Stephen Bush, touchdown Florida. Putting their foot right on the throat of the Swarm. This one's getting ugly, man.
I think the Swarm stinger got ripped out of the back of their body.
They've been de-stung.
Yeah. It's like looking more honeybee-esque. When a honeybee stings something, it can only sting once, then it dies. Luckily, Atlanta's not a honeybee. They're a I don't know what they are. They're a swarm of hornets, maybe.
Yes, I believe it's a hornet, Matt.
We've never really, don't really know what species of bee a swarm is, right? It could be a hornet, it could be a
Well, I
yellow
think
jacket.
the swarm is the overall collection of bees, the gaggle of bees, if you will.
What is
Extra
the
point
gaggle?
is up and good.
Is it a bunch of different species of bees? Is it
Well,
one?
they call it a swarm of bees, Matt. That's why
Right.
they're called
But
Good
what type of bees, Mike? That's the question.
murder hornets.
That'd be a good one.
Ethan Sneed has the ball teed up, ready to kick this one away to the Atlanta swarm of hornets. Murder
Or yellow
hornets,
jackets.
that is. Ryan Roosevelt back at the goal line for the return, brings this one up and tackled at the 23-yard line. Matt, we've got a game break from Vegas. Cam, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Mike. St. Green, a rookie's into the end zone.
Yeah, Cam. Scott Fowl here takes this pass here from Joseph Green into the end zone in the left corner. And Vegas tied it at this particular time, but then Max Jackson came back with a pick six a couple of possessions later. And now Vegas are up 10 points.
Jackson also forced a fumble, which led to 3 Vegas points. The Fury piling on. Back to Mike and Matt in Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you, Cam. BDG Hollywood getting the catch from Brian Dynasty. Gain of 8 on the plays. We see those receiving stats so far in this one. Hollywood with 43 yards. Stephen Bush, 77 yards in the touchdown. Comparison of the top receiving targets from these two squads. Hollywood gets the handoff, hitting the backfield, and he's able to get a yard, Matt, but now they'll actually spot him with no gain, 3rd down and 2. And they've obviously got to convert this 3rd down, but gosh, what else do they have to do to try to get back into this? Do you abandon the run? Do you just go to the pass? What do you do?
You have to go to the pass. Or like I say, off tackle run, something like that.
Now potentially setting up an off-tackle run here on 3rd down and 2. Dynasty, 16-19, 163 yards. Here's your off-tackle run. He gets the first down, breaks the tackle, and more. Finally wrapped up and brought down by Stephen Black, but not before an Atlanta 1st down.
By the way, Mike, I had to look, and the most deadly type of bee is an Africanized bee, a.k.a. often called a killer bee. Thousands of deaths.
Thousands?
They've caused thousands of human deaths. Yes, so the killer bee is the most dangerous type of bee.
All right. Well, now we all know that.
And they often move in swarms. So there we go. We finally figured out what the swarm are. They're killer bees.
Killer bees. They could use a little of that energy in this one. Oh, Dynasty stepping up into the pocket, throwing on the run, and connecting on his pass. Boo Chisholm finally getting back involved in on the action. Haven't called his name in a while.
Boo.
Chisholm.
Greatest name ever, like I said, because if the crowd's booing you, they're still calling your name.
That's true. That might be why he goes by Boo. Because believe it or not, Matt, that is not his parental given name.
You don't know that, Mike. You have to ask him.
I literally have. I sat next to him and had dinner at the last convention. We shared steak. That's why I call him medium rare. Hollywood spins and gets a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 up to the Florida 40.
A man of fine taste. Everyone knows that medium rare is the only way to eat your steak.
Well, that's how the whole conversation started. See, Mexico City free safety, Jeffrey Daggs, my little boy, ordered a filet mignon medium rare, and it was just so impressive to Boo Chisholm that a young man would know exactly how to order a nice filet. That the nickname was born. Boo medium rare Chisholm. Dynasty on 2nd down and 7. Gets it to Hollywood. Oh, nice block.
Off tackle.
Yep. Nice block by medium rare himself. Chisholm Hollywood getting up to the 31-yard line, moves the chains.
Yeah, there you go. Look at all that space for Hollywood to do his thing. Gets a little spin. Not quite successful, but still, again, much better than the 0 and negative yard runs he had earlier in the game.
Yeah, and you see his updated stats there now, 41 yards on the ground, 45 yards through the air. So approaching 100 all-purpose yards and a touchdown, finally getting him going. But gosh, is it too late? Getting Mitchell O'Brien back involved in the passing game. He'll gain 4 on that play, brought down by Ryan Davidson after a gain of 4 up to the 27.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Mike. It's got to start someplace, but I'd love to see Atlanta throw this ball into the end zone. Just give it a whirl.
Offset I formation on 2nd down and 6.
Huh?
Dynasty, deep drop, going down the left side, tipped in, nearly picked off. Pass was deflected by Ryan Tobin. Falls harmlessly to the turf, 3rd and 6.
Would have been a first down too, but Tobin with excellent coverage. Such a shame for Atlanta. They're just trying so hard to get this first down. This very key first down right here, because 3 points doesn't do you really anything.
No, like we talked about earlier, the heck, that was before the last time that Florida scored. 3 points wouldn't do them any good.
Oh my, what is
Hollywood,
going on?
I know, a draw on 3rd down and 6. Hollywood gains 2, but man, 4th and 4. Yeah, and they'll probably kick the field goal here, Matt. Yep, Sammy Steele right there coming out onto the field.
What's going on with though, Mike? Because they've been throwing the ball around so much.
Right, and then 3rd down and 6, and you run.
6, yeah. You think they at least run a swing pass or something? I have no idea.
I don't know. That was a questionable play call for at least our opinion up here in the booth, but settle for 3. 3-point try is up and good from 41 yards. Matt, you heard about it at the halftime break. The SFL has partnered with Laser to deliver digital SFL player trading cards to its players and viewers starting this postseason exclusively on the SFL's Twitch broadcast. Viewers every 30 seconds will be issued one of 18 trading cards, or you can buy the entire pack through Laser's store and receive the complete set of common, uncommon, rare, and ultra-rare memorabilia. You can visit laser.gg, that's LAYZR.gg, and click the Join Alpha button to connect your Twitch account, which I did during the halftime break. Justice Blackwell getting it up to the 25-yard line. Florida back on offense once again with a 24-point lead.
Well, if I'm not an ultra-rare diamond card, their heads are going to roll. Literally.
Well, Matt just made a threat to sever someone's head on national television. That's good, Matt.
No, roll. Heads roll. I roll, they roll. The heads roll.
Oh, misinterpreted. 4 receivers set for Florida on 1st down. Cochran to throw, out route down to J.W. Doyle.
Oh, my goodness.
Doyle's been involved in a few receptions now in this one, Matt.
Nice footwork by Doyle. Just hits the reception. Watch him plant and go and then run over. Oh, my Lord. Just car crashes everywhere.
Tyler Falk from the stats truck thinking that you should not be a diamond, ultra, platinum, or whatever nonsense card you said, Matt. You are the bronze bomber. You will get a bronze level card, and that is all.
Tyler's a newbie. I'm not listening to him.
No card for you.
Talk to me when you've been to the league for like 13 seasons, buddy.
Poletsky tackled at the line. Diamond Blackwell with the tackle. 2nd down and 10. Yeah, it's interesting. Only 18 cards, and I think Cameron Irvine was right. There's going to be 18 happy players and 582 unhappy players.
Did you say 18 total cards?
For the first set, I believe that was what was said. Yeah, Charlie Boletsky getting this reception out of the backfield. Breaking a tackle and then brought down by Jack Napier. 3rd down and 3.
Only one ultra rare diamond card, which it has to be me. I'm the face of the SFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you?
Haven't you watched the documentary?
Yeah, I saw a lot of Cam.
Well, I mean, that's his choice.
3rd down and 3, Atlanta trying to get the stop, and they get it. Wrapping up Boletsky, tackling him right back at the line, and so they don't allow a score on this possession, Matt. They're still down 24, but it's still 2 minutes 30 seconds to go in the first half, or excuse me, the 3rd quarter. So hopefully they're able to, get some points on this next possession.
Yeah,
so Marcus Agrippa, a rare Marcus Agrippa sighting, Matt. He's on to punt.
Probably booted out of the end zone too.
I don't even know if we called his name once.
That's a pretty long punt, though.
I don't think we called his name once against the Tulsa game. First time we saw him here. 34-10, Florida out in front. Atlanta back in possession of the football. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Saturday showcase here on Next Level Sports. And welcome back. Brian Dynasty back out on the field with the offense. Hollywood in the backfield. Down by 24, Matt. And I think you were going to comment on the 24-point deficit. I cut you off. Hollywood tackled for a loss of 3 on the first snap. But, is this something they can climb back into, Matt?
They need a big play, a big touchdown play. And then things get kind of interesting. I mean, it's almost the fourth quarter. You want to score before the fourth quarter, something. But this doesn't look like the formation we're going to see a big gain out of. Although I have been wrong infinite amount of times.
Dynasty gets it out to Hollywood. Matt was right this time. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 13. And Matt, just thinking hypothetically, you're down by 24 points. Do you try to look at this as 3 touchdowns and go for 2 every time, or is that just ridiculous thinking?
How fast you score, Mike. If you can, you hit a bomb here, maybe a nice corner route or something, then you're fine. But you at least need to get the first down, please.
Well, we're due for a bomb, and we're going to see one down the right sideline. He gets it. Siege Falco keeping him in the game. Siege Falco almost single-handedly keeping this receiving game alive. So he gets another catch. That one good for a nice gain. 84 yards on the day now for Falco.
Was that a corner route? It looked kind of like a corner route. Let's see. I think Falco, flying in the air. Well, his name's not Falco for nothing, Mike. He's got wings. Just
jumping right over. Well, all the Hornets have wings, Matt.
Yeah, I guess. They move so fast, though. It's like a blur.
Blur indeed. First down and 10 from the 40. Deep drop.
Here we go.
By Dynasty, deep down the middle.
There
and
you
he's
go.
got his target. It's Boo, medium rich. Chisholm to the house. Is he going to make it? He does. Touchdown, Swarm. So do you go for 2?
No. Mike, I told you, don't go for 2 if you score in the third. They scored in the third. They don't need to go for 2.
All right. Well, I was just seeking clarification. Great deep post route by Boo Chisholm. And almost got caught by Evan Carroll.
Yeah,
Just
nice.
able to break through.
Took a nice angle there, so Carroll couldn't get a square hit on him from behind. And now it gets a little interesting.
Yeah, it absolutely does, Matt. I mean, they've been down this whole game, but they haven't been out. They haven't had a whole lot of third down stops against Florida's offense, but they did on this last drive, and now they were able to capitalize on points. Chisholm with 90 yards and a touchdown on 3 receptions. Extra point by Sammy Steele is up and good, so 34-17 now. You can visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, which I am currently wearing, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions, plus features from our content team including Swamp Talk, Power Rankings, What We Learned, The Read Option, and Talent Factory's feature series. You can see all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, and rankings of the next SFL talent class, and so much more. Simulationfl.net is your home for everything SFL. Justice Blackwell up to the 22-yard line. Florida's offense back at it once again. Matt, the last time they were out there, 5 plays, 22 yards, and they had to punt the ball away, taking 2 minutes, 15 seconds off the clock. 30 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. First down and 10 from the 22.
It's a long way to climb, but if they can do that, close to that, limit these drives to 2 to 3 minutes, that's their best case scenario. Oh, no.
Cochran to Boletsky. Boletsky spins, gains 7. And we have an update from Las Vegas. Cameron Irvine, what do you got?
Thank you, Mike Daggs. Vegas' youth stepping up here this afternoon, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, the rookies over in Vegas are really making an impact on this game, as Laquan Smith with a pick right here, and Vegas continuing to dominate Arizona 23-20.
Final play of the third, back to Daggs.
Whoa!
Thanks, Cam. Final
Oh,
play
that
of the
was a
third
pick.
almost resulted in an interception by Atlanta, but it falls down to the turf. Set up a 3rd down and 3 for Florida after the break. 3 quarters in the books. 11 minutes remains here in Fort Lauderdale. The Storm out in front, 34-17 over the Swarm, but the Swarm climbing back into this one. What'll happen in the 4th quarter? We'll find out on the other side. Stay with us. And we have liftoff of the fourth quarter here in Fort Lauderdale as Florida 3rd down and 3. See if Atlanta can get a stop and maybe get some more points. Bolesky takes a handoff, and they do. They get the tackle for a loss. Wow. Great job there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Guys,
Cree
stop
Higgins
talking about bees and more about what's going on in the field, because right now Atlanta's mounting a little bit of a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback yet, Matt. Cree Higgins. Do you see how quick Cree Higgins fired into the backfield?
Yeah, compared to what I've seen the first 2 quarters, Mike, 2.5, it definitely is a comeback.
Well, I think that's fair. They are getting back into it, but first,
oh boy,
got to see if they can get some points on this. Grip all the way back to the 30. Ah, nice return by Roosevelt, getting it up to the 39-yard line. That sets Atlanta up in some decent field position.
That's what you got to do. You know, if the team has a highly paid punter, you hope he outpunts the coverage, and then your return man can get some of those yards back, which he did. So now, Atlanta, I mean, man, I'm rolling the dice on a big play again. If you hit twice, get your defense back on the field, you're in good shape.
Dynasty, pass number 27 of the ball game, hits Hollywood, who gets a little bit lost, spins, and only gains 2, so no big play. Matt, Dynasty's had a relatively clean game, 273 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He's 23 of 27 with an 85% completion percentage, so he's doing pretty good. I mean, he threw that pick on his first pass of the ball game, but then, got it turned around. But, gosh, that one cost them dearly as they got down early in this one and need to get something going here. 4 wide receiver set on 2nd down. Dynasty up top. That one's complete to Falco, but out of bounds after a gain of only 3, 3rd down and 5.
Now you want the first down, right? It doesn't matter how long the pass is. You want to keep this drive alive and do not punt it back to Florida.
448 total yards for Florida compared to 316 for Atlanta. 3 of 7 on 3rd down. Can they convert on this one? Dynasty wrapped up and brought down, sacked at the 40-yard line. Alessandro Tomaello with the sack. And I think they will indeed punt this one away, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Dynasty did all he could stepping up in the pocket. It wasn't a situation where he could take off and run for those yards.
No.
Although I still have flashbacks to that Vaqueros game we called where, who was it? I don't know. He ran for like 60 yards for a touchdown. Most amazing place I've ever seen.
San Antonio Vaqueros. They're digging deep into the archives now, huh?
Yeah, it's a deep cut. So Ramos would know the name of the quarterback.
He would know that. Like,
I think he's still playing today. Actually, I just can't grab that name. Ramos. Well, he's calling his own game. Someone page him.
He's a little busy at the moment, Matt. So,
Deacon. I think it was Deacon Nickens. That's it.
It could have been, yeah. That was quite the epic run. Now I want to go find that game and watch it again.
Great.
Pitch to Bolesky. That has not worked yet today and did not work there. Chris Porter wrapping him up and tackling him for a loss. Bolesky saying, my average.
I guess it was Oklahoma City Renegades, but
yeah,
I was in the ballpark. It's the South Division, right? They were all in the same division together.
It's one of them teams down near Texas, anyway.
Yeah, that was a most athletic quarterback play in history.
Cochran getting it out to Bolesky again, gets the lost yardage back +1. We'll set up a 3rd down and 9. So 8 minutes 20 seconds to go in the ball game, and Atlanta down by 2 scores. They're gonna 3 scores actually. They desperately need to get this stopped.
They can use pick 6. We've seen one lately. I'm sure DeMond just hates me so much right now.
I would assume so.
Sorry, he hated me before.
3rd down and 9. Cochran throwing for first down yardage. There's the pick. Does it go for 6? It doesn't, but the Moose was loose. Got the pick. Brought it back. Brought it back to the 28-yard line. And Atlanta back on offense. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect track for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. 2 picks last week for Moose Papineau. He got one here and couldn't have come at a better time, setting up his team with only 28 yards to go from
Be careful,
the
Dynasty.
end zone.
Don't give the ball right back.
Dynasty short pass over the middle, and that one is
Go,
caught by
go.
Honus Odabe. Yeah, I agree, Matt, but not to be.
Gotta go. Gotta move faster, team. Gotta move faster.
Not enough time left when you're down 3 scores.
No, and not this. Oh boy. All right, BDG. Now's your chance.
Setting up that off-tackle run.
Yep.
6 on the line for Florida. They will throw instead, getting it out to Jamal Wooding. Haven't seen much out of Jamal Wooding yet in this one. But he gets the catch there.
Again, not rooting for either team. I am just rooting for a competitive game. And Atlanta's got to get their butts in gear now. You got to throw some slant, some out. Something towards the end zone.
Playing
out
way
won't
off
really
those
do it.
receivers.
Yeah, you need more than 3.
Instead, they handed off to Mitchell O'Brien, the fullback, rush up the middle. Not exactly what the Matt ordered.
Yeah, not quite the luck of the Irish on that run. Kind of abandon the run at this point. Just gotta take some shots, either at the end zone or outs that are close to the end zone. That way the clock stops. Right now, you're just burning the midnight oil, and you don't have much of it left.
Now playing 7 yards off the receiver at both the top and the bottom.
Just run a
Dynasty casually changing the play at the line. Dropping, looks, fires. Gets this one almost connects up with Ryan Roosevelt, but pops out of his hands, incomplete.
Okay, it might have offhand off helmet, but oh man, this could be a disaster for Atlanta. I mean, a field goal does put it to a 14-point game, but you'd much rather have the touchdown here. And now you don't throw.
It's bizarre. I was watching the replay on another monitor, Matt. It almost looks like Roosevelt put his hands down too early and it bounced off the chest plate. Dynasty looks towards the end zone, and that one is tipped and nearly picked off. But it does fall down to the turf, and incomplete. Stephen Black in on the coverage. 4th down and 8. Matt's 3-score game. I would just go ahead and send Steele out there, get the 3, make it a 2-score game. Yeah, what else are you going to do?
What I was trying to explain poorly there is, you don't want to go for the real deep shotgun shot because, again, the compressed situation being in that close to the red zone. And that's exactly what they did, and it didn't work out for them. So, okay, field goal time for them. 2-score game though, Mike. It's not over. Reasonable.
Nearly blocked. I've already seen one blocked kick in this game, but that one is up and good from 27 yards. So, yeah, 2-score ball game. Interesting to see how this one plays out. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues on Saturday, April 9th. The DC Dragons have eyes on their first trip to the playoffs in 7 years and welcome the Fury of Las Vegas to the nation's capital. Then West Division is on the line when Denver meets Sioux Falls in a rematch from an overtime thriller earlier this year. The race for the playoffs is heating up. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. Atlanta defense back out onto the field, Matt. I usually say which offense is out there, but it's the Atlanta defense that all eyes are on. They got a pick on the last possession that Florida had, and desperately in need of another one. But, Matt, I'm expecting a heavy dose of number 33, Charlie Boletsky.
Yeah, can you stop this? It's going to be the situation. And then if they can, it's going to be a 3rd down pass. But we'll see.
There's Charlie Boletsky running up the middle. Breaking tackles and bubbling. It's recovered by Atlanta.
Holy Toledo.
It's as good as a pick if you're Atlanta.
Yep. Right on the ball, number 23. And picked up by number 44.
Charlie Boletsky with his first fumble on the season. And my goodness, that could not have come at a worse time for Florida, a better time for Atlanta.
Henry.
They're back on offense.
Chris Henry picked up that fumble. I don't know. I couldn't get the number who caused it, but Dynasty, just deep post end zone.
Dynasty looking, going towards the end zone. Oh, it's nearly given right back. It was indeed a deep post, but not quite deep enough.
No. Bryant, you got to throw it deeper, buddy. Deeper. Falco was, oh my Lord, that was not pretty.
Moose Papanow with that forced fumble, Matt.
Oh, of course it's the Moose.
The Moose was loose.
MV Moose.
The Moose punched the ball loose.
I could definitely say he's the most valuable Moose in the SFL, Mike.
Oh, absolutely, Matt. I think that one would go unargued by anyone, being the only Moose in the SFL. Second down and 10 now for Atlanta, getting back into this one, handing it off to Hollywood. Wrapped up and brought down again. No gain on the play. Third down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, and I really wish they had thrown the screen to the bottom. You know, they've been doing it all game long, and there was nobody there for Florida. And now, again, another critical third down. And a field goal here doesn't really do you too much good.
No, not at this point. I think you'd almost want to go for it, but I'll see what they can get here. 4th and 10 would be painful.
Yes.
Dynasty looks, fires, has his target. Can he get the first down? Oh, it's going to be just shy of the first down marker.
Goodness, fun.
Game break from Las Vegas, and then we'll see what happens on 4th and inches. Cam?
Thank you. Quickly, Eddie Gage willing his team to try to come back in this one.
Yeah, Cam, it's not a pick six, but Eddie Gage is having a great game. His second interception on the day, keeping the Scorpions in the ball game. Vegas still up 23-13.
9 tackles, 2 picks, 2 passes defended, and a sack for Eddie today.
Thanks, Cam. Field goal try is what is called for, and it's up and good from 37. So now they're only down by 11. But Matt, to your point, we'll see what. We'll see what happens with it. 4th and 10 is going to be very hard to convert, but the 3 points doesn't really do you a whole lot of good. I think that was kind of a lose-lose call.
Mike, it wasn't a 4th and 10. It was a 4th and 1. Remember?
Oh, right, 4th and inches. Yeah, you're right. No. You're absolutely right. I would have gone for that one. Onside kick try.
If you're going to do this, especially.
Yeah, Ethan Snead kicks this one away right into the hands of the Storm. Yeah, you're right, Matt. Total brain fart there. It was 4th and inches. And
now you flushed it down the toilet because Florida's almost in field goal range. That field goal you just did is pretty much meaningless, and they're going to run clock. So, can't say I agree with that strategy.
4 minutes, 58 seconds to go in the ball game. Ron Cochran, 23 of 30, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Hands this one off to Charlie Boletsky, who's adding on to his rushing total, 185 yards now on the day.
And that's all Florida needs to do. Just run Boletsky, get in field goal range, kick the field goal, and say, yep, we ran a minute and a half off the clock. Good luck, Atlanta. You got to score really fast now. I don't understand kicking the field goal and then going for the onside kick. It just seems to do one or the other.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Offset I formation on 2nd down and 7. Letting some clock tick away. 4 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Boletsky with the handoff wrapped up. Oh, no, he's not wrapped up. He broke free, but then wrapped up. And brought down for a gain of only 1. Josh Williams says, no, you are not allowed to keep running. We need this ball back. Time is not on our side.
Yes, but I think Florida's going to throw this ball. And so I'd be playing a lot further up than this, Mike. You can't let him catch it at the marker. You got to force him to chuck it deep.
Cochran throws from first down yardage, gets it up to the 24-yard line, connecting with Stephen Bush.
If it was me, Mike, I'd be pressing. Make them beat you, like I say, over the top, because that's just bleeding more clock that you desperately need. And now it's going to go to the 2-minute warning after maybe 2 more plays. It's going to be interesting to see how time is set up here, but
all 3 timeouts for both squads.
I hate to say it, but Atlanta needs a pick or another fumble.
Yeah, they they definitely needed to capitalize more off that fumble than they did. And
Well,
honestly, off the pick. So a nice tackle for a loss there, but Matt, they had a pick and then a fumble recovery on back-to-back drives, and they only netted 6 points when, obviously they could have theoretically had 14. Heck, they could have had 16.
That would have been a huge. I don't know what the score was. My maths are bad, but that would have
Well,
been
it
a
was
lot
17. Yeah, it was 17 points at the time, a 17-point difference. So, had they been able to get touchdowns on both of those, we'd be talking about a 3-point ball game right now.
Uh-oh, Mike, is this a shotgun run from Boletsky?
Well, this is the formation that we saw
Look out.
last week against Tulsa. See if it's a draw to Boletsky. And it is indeed. And this time it does not quite work nearly as well as it worked last week against Tulsa. Only going for a few yards instead of, the whole rest of the way to the house.
They also ran it towards the short side of the field. Not a fan, but it's
2 minutes left to go in this one. 11-point ball game. We'll see what happens. Atlanta's not out of it yet, but time is not on their side. You're watching the Simulation Football League Saturday Showcase presented by APM Music. Next Level Sports. We'll be back after this. Final 2 minutes from the eye here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm Mike Daggs. Alongside me in the booth, Matt Wilson, Gerald Smith, and Tyler Falk with us on stats. Ron Cochran on the field, throwing deep towards the end zone. That one is actually caught. First and goal from the 4, and Atlanta burns their first time out, Matt. Unless they can get a pick, I'd say it's probably over.
That was their chance, too. Cochran throwing it, and there was a man in the area. There was number 44, Chris Henry, but couldn't make the play, and now it's got to be Boletsky time. Honestly, just take some knees.
Yeah. Kneel it a couple times, let him burn those last 2 timeouts, kick a field goal, be done. Charlie Boletsky's going to run with it, though, and Atlanta will burn their next timeout. Coming up on the APM Music post-game update, we'll send you out to Nevada for bonus coverage of the Scorpions and Fury, and then Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will break down part 2 of our Next Level Sports doubleheader. And we'll preview 2 key matchups coming up tomorrow on the SFL networks. It's all coming up on the post-game update. Second and goal from the 2. Cochran hands it off to Boletsky. Boletsky into the end zone, touchdown, and this one is over, Matt.
Yeah, might as well row your boat right out of here.
Touchdown, Florida, now up 40-23 over the Swarm. You know, Matt, I mentioned it back in the intro. You know, two different scenarios for these two teams in their divisions. Atlanta really needed to win out, even just to hope to get second place in the East Division behind the Louisiana Revolution. Losing this game, they'll be behind both Louisiana and Tulsa. Remaining in third currently, but they'll have to keep an eye on St. Louis and see what happens with them. They could potentially even fall down to fourth. Extra point is up and good.
What's Atlanta's remaining games?
Ooh, the difficult questions that I'm not prepared for. Those are the ones that Matt likes to ask in garbage time.
Hey, I got to plan ahead, Mike. It's all about looking towards the future.
Well, next up for Atlanta next week, they are back home. They will host Charleston.
Okay.
So that's a game that actually is going to be important to Florida as well, because Florida and Charleston both in the Atlantic Division. So, interested to see what happens there. Return brought all the way up to the 25-yard line. And then in week 14, Atlanta will be back on the road, divisional game against the Tulsa Desperados. So depending on, what happens with Tulsa, and Atlanta, Tulsa on a bye right now. They're currently 5-5. Atlanta's going to fall to 4-6. So, that game could potentially still be for second place. It's not like they can't get to second. They can't get in a wild card. You saw, if you watched halftime of the first set of games on Next Level Sports, you saw the playoff picture, and it was, very muddied up down in the 5-4, 5-5, 4-5 type range. So, Jamal Wooden getting a catch, moving the chains there. So for Florida with this win, right now they're in third in the Atlantic Division, but with all eyes on Jacksonville and Charleston tomorrow, as those two games are going to come in big. Yeah, nice catch there. Those two games will come in big in playoff seeding for Florida. Florida could go from number 3 to number 1 before this weekend is over, and it all started with the win that they'll get here today. Wooden getting the catch, but in the middle of the field, the clock will continue to roll. Next up for Florida, they actually will head to Jacksonville next week, so that'll be a huge game to keep an eye on if you're a Florida fan.
Florida guy, get over it. What are you doing? Come back. There you go. Good job.
Dynasty letting some clock tick here in this one. Deep down the left-hand side. Great completion to Boo Chisholm. And then their final timeout is called. So SFL action will continue tomorrow. First game kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Baltimore Vultures head to D.C. to take on the Dragons. Very short drive down the road for Baltimore to get to D.C. I believe they could actually take the Metro if they wanted to. Damon Simeon and Eddie Gage, along with Justin Reside, will be on the call. And Louisiana at Jacksonville, Chris Curtis and Eric Vincent will be on the call. 7 p.m. and 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time. That pass batted away. Second down and 10. 26 seconds to go in this one. Week 13 SFL action kicks off at 12 noon Eastern Time. We have Charleston at Atlanta. We have Queen City at London. That'll be at noon and 12:20 Eastern. And Next Level Sports action returns with the Las Vegas Fury at the DC Dragons, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Florida and Jacksonville at 3:05. All sorts of action left in this season, Matt. There's only 2 more weeks to go after this one, but still plenty of football left to be played. Dynasty under pressure and sacked.
Over to the
flag
end
on
zone.
the play.
They're offsides. Come on, Dynasty.
Neutral zone infraction, number 54, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat.
So they will accept the penalty, and the sack will go away. Rhett Sawyer, the guilty party.
Yeah, and, to me it's always you win 6 games in the SFL regular season, you got a shot at the playoffs. So Atlanta has to win out And they have a chance. They still have a chance.
Dynasty looks towards the back of the end zone, and he has his man. That's a touchdown for the Swarm. Honus Odaby getting into the end zone, getting some extra points here on the board. Game's still out of hand, but makes the score a little bit more close.
Nice throw. Look at that drag. 2 feet.
Yeah.
And now,
Great sideline
hey, Mike, we
awareness.
get to see an onside kick. Those are always fun.
Once again, it'll be another onside kick by Sammy Steele.
The first one was a little premature.
Yeah, especially, Matt, the 4th and inches call of just going for the field goal. They made it, but it didn't help, and then they had to do the onside. That I think is something that'll be thought about for quite a while when breaking down this game throughout the next week. 41-30 the score now. Florida out in front. And the onside kick being set up.
Which way will you go, Mike?
There's only one way to find out, Matt. And that's when he kicks it.
Oh,
Deep kick, but it's bobbled,
whoa.
and it looks like it was scooped up by the Florida Storm. So there will just be one kneel down, and that'll send this one away. There's no more timeouts left, Matt. So before we head off to our bonus coverage feature, your final thoughts on this game?
I mean, Florida and Bletsky especially just kind of open the barn doors and burn them down. And then the second half, Atlanta had some opportunities off turnovers, and they just didn't make the most of them. Again, that call, 4th and inches. You got to go. You got to trust your running game or your short passing game to pick that up, because if you do, different ball game.
Absolutely. Great game by the Florida Storm. They will win this one 40-30. Charlie Boletsky's got my vote for player of the game, Matt. 194 yards on the ground, 43 through the air. It's been a presentation by the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll send it down to Ramos Lynn and Mark Lopez, Arizona at Las Vegas.
Comes in handy. Now that hand team is very crucial right now as we welcome you, those who watch the Florida Storm beat the Atlanta Swarm 41-23. Arizona trying to go an onside kick here. The ball bounces and is going to be fielded by the Fury special teams unit. I think that's Max Jackson, actually, with the recovery. And we're going to take a look at a couple kneel downs.
Yep, and with only one timeout remaining, the season was on that onside kick for either team, really. And it looks like for Arizona, if there were any chance left for them, it's probably shutting down all close to 0. Las Vegas keeping their playoff hopes alive.
Scorpions will call their last timeout. 2nd and 12 coming up, where Jose Green is going to put knee on dirt one more time. And the Las Vegas Fury will keep their playoff hopes alive. It will move to 4-6. Arizona down to 3-7. May want to start thinking of next season.
There we
kneel
go.
down. And that's going to be the end of the ball game. Want to give another huge shout out one more time to Mr. Declan O'Rourke and also to Justin Reside for the stats, doing an unbelievable job. As we reach the end of the ball game, the Las Vegas Fury win 30-23 over the Scorpions. And Mark, I want to hear your final thoughts. I think this was a pretty complete game for the Vegas Fury offense, running, defense, special teams, passing, everything.
Absolutely, that's kind of what they were hoping for, is to really present a really well-balanced game plan for this game. And I think for Arizona, where things fell apart was towards the end of the first half. We saw a fumble on their kickoff return, we saw a pick 6, and then we saw another interception in the second half. And really from those first two turnovers, the fumble and the pick 6, they allowed 10 points towards Las Vegas. And, you know, those 10 points would have been pivotal in getting closer to this game. And you see right there, turnovers going to be important in any ball game. And despite Eddie Gage's heroics on defense with 2 turnovers of his own, the 2 interceptions, it wasn't enough. You got to give credit where it's due. Joseph Green, he played way above his averages this season. He has been incredible, especially when targeting his favorite receiver, at least his favorite receiver for this game.
Yeah, and I also want to hear your player of the game. Who do you have as a player of the game?
Oh, I mean, Scott Johnson had incredible stats this game. 83 yards. He looked flashy a lot of the times, but I feel like Joseph Green might be the call. He had 2 touchdowns, 229 yards. Yeah, it's either one of those 2 guys.
I will go Max Jackson just to go outside of the box. A forced fumble, had that pick 6. Was very active in tackling. Had 5 solo tackles and 5 assisted tackles as well. We'll see as we roll along the rest of the highlights. That was Will Todd's last touchdown to make it 30-23. Unfortunately for Arizona, wasn't enough.
Yeah, and with this, it sets up for Las Vegas being 4-6. And your player of the game is any second now.
Max Jackson.
Max
There we
Jackson.
go.
Wow, you called it. What a call, and boy, he does deserve it. 1 forced fumble, that was during the kickoff return tips, and his pick 6 as well. That's the 1 touchdown.
For Declan O'Rourke and Justin Reside, also Mark Lopez in analysis, I was Ramos Lynn, and thank you very much for watching another presentation of the Simulation Football League. We'll be right back after these messages with Cam and Mike to recap today's action. Good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome to the Sim Football post-game update. Along with Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. And let's start with the Las Vegas Fury getting a big win, Mike, here late, 30-23. We thought we'd see some heroics out of Atlanta late. That's why we sent you to bonus coverage. We thought, well, Arizona could recover this and make things interesting. Bad luck for us as Vegas takes care of business, basically puts Arizona on the outs. Just a rough season for Arizona. They've lost 4 straight to Vegas by 7 points or less.
Two of their star receivers right as free agency ended, and they had to, pretty much do some things on the fly to fill out that roster to go into the season. And I think that's kind of manifested itself in the type of game that we saw today. And what we've seen from them over the past few weeks is that no explosive plays from this offense. I mean, we were accustomed to seeing the Hans brothers, James and Donnie, make huge plays downfield, and we have not seen enough of that from Arizona. And the result of that is that a lot of pressure has been put on their defense, and they fought valiantly today, but it came up short.
Florida is off and running. They are going to make this Atlantic Division very interesting. Jacksonville's 6-3. Florida's 6-4, Charleston's 5-4, and Florida plays Jacksonville and Charleston in the last 2 weeks. They look very explosive. While Atlanta is falling now behind at 4-6, they are out of the division race. They'll have to scrap and claw for everything in the last 2 weeks.
And yeah, Cameron, we're accustomed to seeing Florida get off to slow starts, but this season they're a little slower than normal. But here the past couple of weeks, man, they have really put their foot on the gas and have really dominated some teams. Scoring 41 today, 40 plus points against Tulsa last week. And these guys are just looking great, and definitely watch out for these guys coming down the stretch. And now Atlanta, they're clearly behind the 8 ball now. They can't afford another loss this season if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. And it was a strange game in so many ways today. Also, Florida dominated the first half, 348 yards of total offense. They did score the first touchdown coming out in the second half, and then about mid-third, the game kind of took a weird turn, and it almost looked like Atlanta could play here, play there, could have come back and made this a game, but fell a little short. And they may be back to the drawing board as well, just like Arizona, if they can get things turned around pretty quickly.
4-6 for Atlanta, 6-4 for Florida. 2 teams going in the opposite directions tomorrow on the SFL family of networks. We've got Baltimore and D.C., Louisiana and Jacksonville. And Mike, these games are the 2 to focus on, the 2 to pay attention to. Obviously, Charleston getting a win or a loss could be big in the Atlantic, but Baltimore can clinch a first-round bye, put everyone in the rearview mirror if they beat D.C., and Louisiana could clinch the East if they beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, Cam, those first 2 games out of the gate tomorrow are definitely the games that my eyes are going to be focused on. The battle of the D.C. and area over there, Baltimore against D.C. D.C. set 6-3. They could really solidify their playoff standing with an upset over Baltimore tomorrow, and definitely the game that I'm really going to have most of my focus on is going to be Louisiana and Jacksonville. Both of these teams have had great bounce back seasons this season, and Louisiana looking to clinch the playoff berth that eluded them on the last day of the season last season.
That's it for all of us at the Simulation Football League. For Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the SFL, presented by APM Music, and we'll see you here next Saturday for Vegas, D.C., Sioux Falls, Denver, right here on Next Level Sports. Have a great night, everybody, and a great rest of your weekend.